Dr. Eddie Anderson had been coaching Notre Dame-style football at Holy Cross. Not so surprising when you know that he learned the game under Newt Rockne. Anderson had been a winner everywhere he went and had picked up an MD degree to boot. The administration hoped that Eddie Anderson would be just what the doctor ordered.
He was a remarkable human being. He worked at the medicals at the University Hospital, that huge hospital over there, as at that time in eye, ear, nose, and throat, did surgery and things like that, and coached the football team. He would work over there from 6 in the morning in surgery till 10 o'clock, come over to the field house, take his white shirt off, put on his sweatshirt, and he'd coach football.
He was a competitive, very fierce, very tough, brutal on the field. Off the field, he was the perfect gentleman.
You had immense respect for him. He was intelligent. He ran his ball team, and he ran the entire show. As I said, we had immense respect for him. We were afraid of him. Fear was a part of football back at that time.
Watching drills before the '39 season, the first thing to catch the new coach's eye was a brilliant senior by the name of Nile C. Kinnick. In Kinnick, Anderson saw not only a player, but a leader.
Nile Kinnick was the real professional, not only on the football field, but in his private life. And as I think I told you, no one loved him more than his teammates. We knew him better than anybody else.
Kinnick is impossible to describe. You cannot relate to Kinnick unless you knew him. He's the most disciplined man I've ever seen in my life, and he was only 21 years old when I knew him at Iowa in that last year. When Kinnick established a goal, everything, he made it to that goal, no matter what the sacrifice. And yet he was a very personable guy, just as likable as any guy you ever want to run. But football, on the field a half hour, hour before anybody else. He and Frank Aridio practicing the punt and the pass and the drop kick and all the things, and he's doing push-ups, sit-ups. Kinnick was a self-made man.
Besides Kinnick and Dr. Anderson's coaching, there was a squad of 17 or 18 players who would labor through every game through the entire season. Irwin Prossie, Whitey Evans, Buzz Dean, Ray Murphy, Mike Enoch, Bruno Andruska, Ham Snyder, Al Coupe, Bill Deal, Bill Green, Bill Gallagher, Max Hawkins, and Jim Walker, men who would come from literally nowhere, propelling Iowa to the highest honors the game has to offer, the Ironmen.
This is Jim Zabel, and you almost had to live in Iowa to get the full impact of the 1939 Ironman team. Here was a state coming out of the most catastrophic economic event, the Great Depression, and football-wise, Iowa had won 2 games the 2 previous years, and all of a sudden, these guys burst into our life. Nile Kinnick, Mike Enoch, Al Coupe, Bill Green, Eddie Anderson, all became household words. We couldn't wait for the next game to take place there at the stadium in Iowa City.
When we'd walk into any place, I attended a fight, Lisa of Old Morris Strickland down at the old Coliseum here in Des Moines, and the main event guys are walking up there, and the announcer introduces me, and the crowd wouldn't quit cheering. And I was an 18-year-old kid, quarterback. I remember walking across the campus with Bill Green after about midweek of an Iowa-Notre Dame game, and they'd see you walking across the campus. The kids would converge on you, lift you up, and run you up to the old Capitol steps, and they'd have a pep rally down there. All they had to do was see you.
We beat Notre Dame one Saturday, and we beat Minnesota the next Saturday. Probably the 2 greatest rivals that we could have played against. And on each Monday, the university declared a holiday. Never in the history of this school have we had back-to-back Mondays where they closed the university so that the student body and the faculty could celebrate, and celebrate we did.
I was a kid in high school. My dad would take me to the games, and you know, they beat Wisconsin, they beat Purdue, and then those games, of course, against Notre Dame and Minnesota, the two teams that had been nemesis to Iowa through the years, and to come out and beat them on their own home turf in Iowa City was just incredible. It was a spiritual experience. You had to see it to believe it.
When the smoke had cleared after that amazing season and the honors were tallied up, title or no title, there were no losers at Iowa. Eddie Anderson was named Coach of the Year in his first season at Iowa. Captain Erwin Prossie was a unanimous All-Big Ten choice, as well as a member of the United Press All-America second team. Mike Enoch, although only a junior, was given a first-team All-Big Ten spot and third-team All-America honors by the NEA. Nile Kinnick won it all. The Maxwell and Walter Camp Awards, the Big Ten's most valuable player, honorary captain of the team picked by the All-American Football Board. He was a consensus All-American, topping the ballot on every team. He was the most overwhelming winner of the Chicago Tribune's Silver Football Award since the creation of the trophy in 1924.
He was selected the outstanding male athlete of 1939, and he won the Heisman Trophy. No other Hawkeye has won it yet.
Finally, if you will permit me, I'd like to make a comment which in my mind is indicative perhaps of the greater significance of football and sports emphasis in general in this country, and that is, I thank God I was warring on the gridirons of the Midwest and not on the battlefields of Europe.
Ensign Nile C. Kinnick, scholar and athlete, was lost at sea June 2nd, 1943, when his Navy fighter crashed into the Gulf of Paria, only 4 miles from his aircraft carrier. In 1972, Iowa Stadium was renamed Kinnick Stadium in his honor.